Well, today, everybody, I want to give you guys a little bit of lesson on modes, music theory, and how to use music theory when understanding what key you're in and when you're writing a riff. So obviously this video is free, man. I want to help you guys. I'm really passionate about music theory and how I was able to take music theory and modes and implement it into a genre that really doesn't focus too much on music theory, that is hard rock and metal music, right? So all I ask that you guys like this video if you truly enjoy it and if you learned something, and let me know down below in the comments that you actually like this type of content. These videos always seem to do well on my channel, but I would love to hear you guys' feedback and constructive criticism on this topic, okay? And if you want to subscribe on your way out the door, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, let's start learning, everybody. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play this guitar. This guitar is my Fender lefty, not lefty now, Stratocaster. It's tuned down to drop C. And I want to show you guys a riff that I have had in my head and I've been kicking it around, and it's actually not out yet. It's not officially on a track, on a song, but I had this really cool riff and this really cool idea, and I want to share it with you all. You guys probably have heard this on my channel a few times. I want to play it for you guys, and then I want to walk myself through the process of understanding what key I'm in and understanding like how I can figure out where to go from here, okay? So here's the riff. It goes like this. Thank you very much. That riff, to my ears, sounds good musically. You know, that's all subjective, but what I'm trying to say is like it sounds like it is doing something in terms of music theory. Like it sounds like it goes together, right? So I want to give you guys that first bit of confidence for yourself when you're creating something. If it sounds good, it is good. And 95% of the time, if it sounds good, it probably fits really well in some sort of music theory idea. Meaning like if it sounds good, it's probably following some scale, some key, some mode. If not to a T, but at the very least, rather closely, okay? So don't let your ears and your brain like have a quarrel with each other. If it sounds good, you're probably on the right track in terms of theory, okay? So this is where we really start to learn something, and I'm going to give you guys a hard truth, okay? If you're not studying music theory, if you're not understanding your scales and your scale patterns, and you're not making the flashcards that I always say, right? Say A major on the front and then write the A major scale on the back. If you guys aren't drilling this, hard truth, you're not going to get any better, okay? So I really encourage you guys to study. I personally may not be the best riff writer or musician of all time, but I can separate myself from the pack pretty well, pretty quickly by understanding music theory, okay? So let's break down that riff. So the first part is the riff, and then the second part of what I was playing was like a fake chorus and like a fake breakdown, meaning I'm trying to like think about where the song can go after the cool riff. So breaking it down, it's this. So I'm landing on certain spots on the fretboard purposefully. I'm going at the beginning part, a lot of 5 and 6. So when I come up with a riff, and what I did for this very riff is I followed a scale pattern. I followed a mode. So the first thing that I did before coming up with this riff is I remembered one of my favorite mode scales, and that is C Locrian or C Locrian. Because this guitar is tuned to C of some kind, drop C. In drop C, the Locrian scale are the frets as follows. Follow me here, write this down. A Locrian scale on the low string is as follows in terms of frets. 0, 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12. 0, 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12. You follow that scale with the open C as the root note. That will then automatically manifest a C Locrian scale. Now, if you're in a different tuning, say I'm in drop B, Slipknot Mudvayne, if I played that same scale pattern in terms of frets, 0, 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, guess what? It's going to follow now a B Locrian scale. Okay, so what, dude? Yeah, that's great. So how and why can I come up with riffs using that? Great question. Well, because this guitar is in a drop tuning, so we have a C and a C. So if I hit a note on the 5th fret on the middle C, like the 4th string, it will be the exact same note, just an octave lower on the low C string, okay? So you don't have to do more work and think harder because the strings are tuned to the exact same note, just a different pitch, different octave, okay? So then from there, when I was writing it, I went, okay, so 5, 6, that's following the C Locrian scale because 5 and 6 are in there. So then when I came up with an idea, I cross-referenced the C Locrian scale. So the notes of C Locrian are as follows: C natural, D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, and C natural again at the octave. So why am I not calling these sharps? I just want to address this. This is kind of like an addendum, an extension of this lesson. So the first note that I named after C was D flat. Well, what's another name for D flat? Is in fact C sharp. Okay, so what? Why can't I call it C sharp? Well, in music theory, scales, they all have one representation of each alphabetical letter, and there's no omitting any letters, and there's no duplicates. So if I was to call this note C sharp, when I'm saying C Locrian, so I go C, then C sharp, well now I have 2 C's right off the bat. I've already duplicated C twice. So the rule of music theory is this now has to be called a D flat, okay? All right, so back to the riff. When I was doing this move in the beginning, first off, I just did that because it sounds cool and it's like just a cool little trick that I'm doing, right? But when I cross-reference the notes, this is where all the magic happens. So we already know F and G flat, they fit. Well, then what are these notes on the A string, you know, the 5th string? That's a C because that's a C note, so we cross-reference it with the low string. But then what's this here? Well, that's a C sharp or da-da-da, D flat. So those notes automatically fit in the scale. Magic, right? I'm gonna give you guys an analogy here. Let's say you create a riff, right? You dissect a riff, know all the notes. You put all those notes in like a shaker cup, like you're at the casino or something. But the notes are now the dice. You shake them up and you throw them on the table. You roll your hand or whatever. It's your turn. You roll the notes. You'll see an assortment of notes all over the table from the riff you wrote. It's your job to analyze all of those notes and then see that, okay, there's that note, there's that note, there's that note, there's that note. Aha, I'm playing in this scale, this key. So if I threw my riff down on the table, I see, oh, there's a C, there's a D flat, there's an E flat, etc. Like, oh, I'm in C Locrian. Back to the riff. Well, the ending part of that move is 6, 5, open. Well, again, those automatically fit because I've already followed this scale pattern. So we're already in the clear, and then I just riffed on the low string with some power chords, and I went. I do a little pinch harmonic there. And that's a B flat, aka A sharp, because G, G sharp, A sharp / B flat. Well, B flat's in this scale because, see, it's all magically fitting in the scale right there. Then after the riff, I kind of improvised it, but I was like making like a chorus of some sort, just going. followed by some silly breakdown that I just, again, kind of improvised. But I'm doing all that in real time after the riff because I already labeled out the spots that I can go. So I already know if I pick those notes, if I pick those landmarks, it's automatically going to fit in the scale. So everybody, that's more or less how, like, when I come up with a riff, I analyze it, I dissect it, I figure out where I'm at on the fretboard, and then I see where I'm at on the fretboard, and then take all those notes from the riff, throw them down on the table, analyze them, and piece it all together that, oh, I'm in this key. And again, you guys will not get there unless you study. So please, if you take anything away from this video to implement into your practice routine and your writing and your creativity, study. Please study, okay? All right, everybody, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was fun. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed hanging out with me. And with that being said, everybody, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in a video very, very soon. Later.